another week. We are happy and delighted to be with sauce and pepper.
It's been a long time we gave them the run. Let's do it.
Sauce and pepper. Yes. And you know, a lot of things have been happening this week. And one of the things is the recent times where police are doing random stop and search.
I was in a boat right now, and the police driver stopped us. I thought he was even coming to say the driver, but he wants to check my bag. And I'm asking why. Do I fit a description? He said no. Once he suspects that I'm holding, once I look like I'm holding what? You said something. I don't remember. Well, if I look suspicious. Oh, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. I can understand that you want to do your work. That's fine. But you've not explained to me why I look suspicious. Because I was literally just watching a video on my phone. You stopped the car and you want to search my bag.
Are you done with your talking? Are you done with your talking?
I'm still recording. You said I can record. Yes, so I'm just recording.
So I'll still have to search your bag.
No, please.
No, please. Do not allow police to search your bag. No. Please, no. Drive to 10 to the nearest police station, please.
Let's go to the next. Let's go to the nearest police station. Yes, please. Let's go.
Yes. Sit down. Yeah, let us go to the nearest police station. No. Don't allow him for that. No, matter, let us go.
If you think nothing inside, let them go. Okay.
They want to handcuff me to the police. Oh, let's go, please. Let's go.
I don't really know the nearest police station virus.
What's the name of the police station we are going to?
We are going to Greater Estate.
Greater Estate. So please put it inside. Greater Estate police station.
I'd say maybe you would want to give us a background.
Okay. When was 5th September? Tuesday. So on Tuesday on Twitter, Seeker Official
yes.
posted a video of a citizen of Ghana who was being stopped. So she was in a boat that was stopped by the police. And the police, you know, normally when you're in a car and they stop the car, you're assuming they are searching the car.
Yeah.
Or the driver, or maybe the roadworthy and everything of the car. But this time around, I think they started confronting her in the car. So she started feeling a bit jittery. That is why I'm sure she decided to start recording, because Ghana is not US. We are not that scared of the popo to start recording the police. Yeah. So for her to even start that recording means she felt quite unsafe, or she was quite worried. So there was a video that she was asking the police.
Maybe she just wanted to make a point.
No, but she knows. So she asked permission to record. Means there was something so we didn't see everything. Because police won't stop me and I'll just take my phone and start recording. There's been only 2 situations where I felt I wanted to record. When on Spintex, the annoying MTTU guy, we are branching in and he's coming. You know that thing where when they are coming with their cars and they are blowing their siren, they expect everybody to just disappear from the road and there's nowhere to park. And he rather was pissed at us. That was a moment I wish I had recorded, because if something had happened, he was at fault. Do you get me? That thing where they assume that like on the Ghanaian stretch like this, the road is so small with so many trees, and when they're coming so much force, and they expect you to go into the how do you call it, the trees for them. And sometimes it's so deep. Like if I'm not an experienced driver, I get scared. So those are times where I wish I was recording.
Use of
the power and the siren. That's something we deal with in Ghana a lot. Anyway, so I am just saying, before that video, something definitely might have started. So the video was just saying that. So she asked the police permission to record, and she's like, well, normally when she's in an Uber, so she explained it. So she's in a boat, and they flagged her car. She thought they were searching the driver or asking questions, but now they're asking to search her personal belongings, which is a handbag she's holding. And she doesn't understand why they should. So she's asking questions. Why do you want to search me? That I'm in a passenger seat of a car. Is there a problem? Like, do I fit a description? Is there any reason? Is there something you are doing? And the police doesn't want to answer. He says, no. Will you let us search your bag? Like, now, like, you can see, and you know, power. They don't like to be questioned. So the moment she started questioning, he started feeling angry. You can sense it. It happens even in customer service. When you start asking people questions, their demeanor starts to change. It's like you are questioning their authority. So the demeanor started to change. It's like, well, I'm not comfortable you searching me without telling me why you're searching me. And I can understand as a citizen. If it's never happened to you before, it feels weird. Like, I'm actually still weirded out that I'm sitting in the car and imagine all the days I go to school and I pick Uber and like, we are not driving. And then someone stops our car and says, give me your bag, let me search. Sometimes I'm carrying large sums of money. Now he starts asking me, why do you have this money in your bag? Why? Like...
And you can trust the police to be unprofessional when they find
a lot.
money.
A lot in this country. You can.
Yeah.
So I'm sure she wasn't comfortable not knowing what they were looking for and why they were searching her bag. So she just asked a question.
So before Mr. Chris comes in, for me, I feel there is a thin line between doing your stop and search and harassment. Because and when you go on the internet, people were actually blaming the girl and throwing jabs at her that why are you questioning the authority? Why won't you allow yourself to
typical Ghanaian behavior?
But you see, that is the thing we do in this country where now they see us as timid and lazy people because we don't question authority.
Typical Ghanaian behavior.
We don't question the status quo. You get it? So I don't see why they even had to blame her, because if we don't start rising up to these things, it would continue.
Yeah, so it gets to a point where we can't control. Then we become the US popo.
But then
Exactly.
guys,
It's very
is
dangerous.
education not important in this? For example, is Ghana a stop and search state in the sense that does the law empower police officers or law enforcement to randomly stop and search? That's the first thing. People are criticizing her because they think that's the normal thing to do.
That's the norm.
The police is to be obeyed. The police says, let me search your car. Just freaking open their car and let them search. Especially if you are sure that you're not doing anything illegal or you don't have anything. I'm saying that's what...
No, that's what like the norm is.
That's what the norm is, and that's why that response from Twitter
came.
Basically criticizing her. So I think if people know what the law says, then they will perhaps understand the young lady's position better. So I think that we can go to the law, give us that education.
So okay, so this is just Twitter conversation, and then so I asked a lawyer friend that. My first question was, is Ghana a stop and search country? Because, like, they do it a lot. Yes. Personally, I see they stop our car, they flash their lights in our car, and that's it. In fact, if it's not until last week, we've never been stopped to search our car. The only people who search our cars are when you're entering the hotels, the big hotels. Yeah. Then they use the metal thing. Yeah. But on the road, I haven't actually been stopped to search before. But I didn't even notice. But apparently, last week, our car was searched. Where our lunch and search our lunch bag. Like, seriously, open our lunch bag. Like, so it's happened to us.
Yes.
Do you get it? But I think we were comfortable opening because they didn't ask to search my handbag, which was by me. I'm sure if at any point in time in that search, they had asked me to search my handbag, I would have been asking why.
Yes.
Just like that, because, your handbag has so many of your personal stuff. It's like an infringement of your privacy. So yes, I can understand. But the laws of Ghana actually allows the police to search somebody. So criminal, what's the code? Criminal Procedure Act 30, Section 93. So it's not quite long, but it says whenever a police has a reasonable cause to believe that any article which has been stolen, unlawfully obtained, or in respect of which a criminal offense is or is about to be conveyed. The key word is whenever a police officer has reasonable cause to believe that a package. So the summarized version says a police officer who has reasonable cause to believe that an article has been stolen or is concealed for the purpose of crime can, without a warrant, apprehend, seize, and search any such person. So this summarized version has taken away a purpose of crime or committed crime or is about to be committed or is being committed.
Suspicion. They should have reasonable grounds of suspicion. Did it say that grounds of suspicion should be communicated to the person they are about to search?
No, there's no part in the act that says that it should be communicated to the person.
But you read something that says the person should be communicated.
That was consent for search.
Okay, consent. So
that is why they asked her, can we search your bag? So they need consent to search.
So can we search? Consent means I say yes or no.
Yes, that's
then
why.
When I say no, what happens? They get a warrant.
Exactly. So when
they arrest you on suspicion.
Maybe. That is if they have reasonable cause, then they can arrest you,
so you see, that's
on
the thing.
suspicion.
We are not lawyers, but let's just try to practicalize this. So you are driving, and the police should have reasonable grounds to say, okay, this car or this individual is suspicious, or we suspect he fits some a profile we have of a suspect. Then he approaches the car and he says, "May I search you?" That's what we are trying to practicalize.
Normally, I don't think they do. May I search you? So they asked to maybe open your boots. They don't say may. They just say,
no. But in this particular context, the police said, "Can I search?"
No, the police said they want. I don't know what conversation. That's why I keep saying there was a conversation that happened off camera before the camera, but it said the police clearly asked, "Are you giving us your bag to search?" And she said no. Then they said, "Okay, then let's go to the police station."
Yes,
that was what happened.
So that's me. For me, so that's exactly what I'm saying. That the practical trajectory of this power given to the police or this provision in the Constitution is that upon suspicion I search, but I have to ask for consent.
Yes, the consent is important.
So now if I don't get it, then I have to arrest you.
Maybe. I don't know what the next act is. So this is just for searching without warrants.
So all these questions building up to my point. That then look, the police is supposed to be trained on how to practically implement this particular law. But I realize that the practicality of it is quite difficult to do.
Yeah, without giving out intelligence, right?
Because one, yes, without giving out intelligence. Two, without being accused of prejudice. Because how the police will demonstrate the grounds of suspicion, it's very difficult because you meet someone like Seto who has he has bushy hair that is aiming to turn into dreadlocks. Like he did.
And he has beard.
Yes, he looks like this. It looks like this.
and he has a beard. And then he wears baggy things with his school bag. Like profiling.
He told you how skilled and educated he is in what he does.
Yeah.
You won't believe it.
Yeah.
But just because of his appearance. And seriously, I'll have grounds of
that's prejudice.
Valid grounds of suspicion if I was a policeman. Then when I approach him and I say, "Yo, you look like some weed smoker we are looking for. And so can I search your pocket to see if I can see some rolls in it?" He will be offended. He said, why? Definitely. Just because of the way I'm dressed.
No. On what grounds? Like the way the lady said, do I fit a profile?
So look, let's be careful. Look, the police will still have to do their work. Right. I know that there's a thin line between abuse and enforcement of the law. But we live in a context where we don't have the sophistication of how's the name? Apprehending suspects or proving guilt, using technology, sophistication and all, that avoids the abuse, total abuse of some sort or discomfort of some sort of the person in question. I'm not saying that abuse is allowed, but I'm saying that let's take note of what the police has at their disposal in doing their work. They still have to keep law and order until this country gets to that point where they don't even just have to come to your house. Literally, you can just get your address online, look at cameras all around and see what you were doing at 10 o'clock and and they don't even have to approach you. By the time they come to you, they have enough grounds of suspicion, as the Constitution has said. The sophistication would have given them that. That once they stop you, they already have the warrant to say that you have XYZ and that I need to search and there's proper grounds. They don't have that. You see, so let's not tie the hands of our law enforcement behind their back.
In our wokeness.
You know. However, still the law
I was going to say, so the law is not saying that the police should not search. The law is saying on reasonable grounds. So my lawyer friend said, so with this particular case that we have in point, when she said no, it wasn't her right to say no because she didn't give consent. So consent is different from the police having the right to search. I have the chance to also give consent to search or not. So if the police has reasonable ground, then yes, the right thing is to take her to the police station, probably book her, give her the chance to call her lawyer. Her lawyer comes in.
I think at that point, that's when they can be clear and say, okay, you don't want to search. You're under arrest under suspicion of X, Y.
I don't know if it is straight under arrest, but detained.
The
first step is detained. No, the first stage is detained.
That's the point.
Suspicion.
Because I think with arrest,
arrest is different.
Yes.
No. So it's not arrest. It's detained.
So then with this law, then how would the police check crime on the streets?
Yeah.
No, but the police are checking crime.
How will they? Because he can't arrest. So the point is, look, when you actually meet someone whose car is full of illegal arms and all of that, all he needs to tell you is that no, you can't search my car, and you also can't arrest.
No, you detain.
How will the police practicalize this power they've been giving and then balance it with the protection of the rights of the citizens as quoted from the Constitution?
That's an
practically it means that someone might be carrying arms in their car. The police does a random stop and search, asks for consent, and the person says, no, I'm not giving you consent to search, and the person can drive off.
No, the person can drive off.
It means the police can detain the person.
Yes.
If they have
reasonable cause. Exactly.
And then at that point, they are telling the person that, okay, you fit a description.
They don't have to say fit. So that's grammar. So they don't have to say you fit suspicion. So you are suspected of carrying contraband or cars. We have to search your car.
Potato is
fine, semantics. So at that point, the police would have to disclose intel. And they can detain that person. Search. Once they detain you, they have the right to do all the other things.
So now the full interpretation of the law is clear now. Then if we are going to the specific context, then I think that, I think all that was followed.
All that was followed.
Because the young lady ended up being detained.
She was sent to the police station, yes.
So the only problem now is what exactly?
The problem here is, so, assuming this lady, which she has every right to, sue the police for discomfort, for harassment, she has every right, harassment or whatever it is she felt in that moment, she felt unsafe, she has every right to sue the police court. So her lawyer will now go and then demand from the police, what was your reasonable cause to want to search my client? The police better have a reason why they decided to search this young lady's car bags, either because of a tip-off or because it was a mandated search they were doing in a period of time. So that happens a lot in my area on Saturdays and Sundays. They always, and they are searching for some type of people. They do lots of those checks, but our car has never been flagged. So it means they're looking for a certain description. So maybe they have their rights in that point. So at that point, someone says no, they'll detain you, take you to the police station. When they take you to the police station, master, once they've taken you to the police, it means they have reason to even go as far as go to court for an arrest warrant. So they'll search your car, they'll search your property at that moment. Then you have the right to call a lawyer. Yes. So, so all we are saying is she didn't feel comfortable. You on Twitter that is bashing her that she could have, they searched her and they didn't find anything and they let her go. So she could have just submitted to the search and go. Yeah. You feel safe with Ghana police. She probably has lived in the US where people don't feel safe with police because of skin gray. So she's projecting that onto the Ghana police. She didn't feel safe in that moment. And it isn't her right not to feel safe. This whole Ghanaian thing of don't question authority has brought us so much problems. This is not one of the ones we'll carry.
It allows authority to be abused. Now that I've played sort of the devil's advocate for the police and all of that, I think that the way they do these stop and search things these days is it leaves much to be desired, because I think on a Friday we are driving and then we see police. Please, Ghana police, how many uniforms do you have? How will I even know? Now the person wearing, and I'm choosing these colors because I'm thinking that there's no police unit that has these colors. So purple and green. How do you know that this person wearing purple and green with knee guards, machine gun, helmet like is in ECOMOG or a peacekeeping mission on a hot Friday afternoon, and he's doing traffic stop, like traffic duty with a machine gun and all kinds of things.
It's a genuine policeman.
Charlie,
like
that
because another thing, I don't think in Ghana we ask them for identification.
ID. You dare not even go and ask him for ID. Why? Well, you try it. You come and tell me the results.
Because for me, if the police would continue to do this stop and search, I think one thing they should try, even if not 100% right, at least 80% right, is profiling. Because people they vex for this country. People they vex. Already he's going to look for his money somewhere, and then you come do your bad profiling because probably he has some logs, some piercing and all of that. So for me, if they would, this is their tactics, then they should get their things right, like profiling subjects and all of that.
But you know that when the police is on the field, you see their radio. So they have tips that are coming in.
Right.
If the tip has to do with a car,
Yes.
A particular car, I don't mind who is sitting in that car. Do you get me?
Okay. It's for
the greater good. So I keep saying that my car has been said several times, like open the boot or shine torchlights, bring the window down. They do all the time. I actually never knew that they've even gone far to search inside my lunch bag. But yeah, they have. I really don't have a problem with it. But I'm sure the day a policeman will ask me to search inside my handbag, I'll be a bit jittery. Because that's very private and personal to me. Do you get it? So I'll be a bit jittery. Maybe the police got a tip about a car, a certain type of car, a car number, or a car carrying one female that is coming that way. They can't profile and stop some and not stop some. They will stop every single car. That point, the police has reasonable cause. So if you say no, it is in your right to say no. That is the part I don't want Ghanaians bashing the victim. We like victim blaming in this country too much. From rape to every time we have victim bashing. So victims can't even come out and even tell their story. That is why we keep not seeing this. Apparently, this thing has been happening for so long. Just because she was the one victim that decided to video. It has started a conversation and it's getting all of us educated. That is all we need. We like victim, but she decided she didn't want to be said. She didn't have any contraband in it. She just didn't feel safe in that space. So she decided to record. And about the recording, she didn't even have to ask them about recording. It's her personal space that they were invading.
That reminds me of the funny story we heard on radio of a policeman who is stationed at a particular junction at Dansoma at a particular time, and then he does stop and search. And seriously, anything he says, any handy thing he sees,
you collect. Even your achobo, you collect. You're half eating achobo.
Someone called the radio station, says he remembers that he took his fried rice, pack of Indomie, pack of fried rice, you think.
Oh my God. So like that's just it. Like it opens up the conversation. We get to talk about it. We get to be educated about it. Yeah. I personally think that, yes, as Emmanuel said, Ghana is way behind technology. So they use lots of these ground activities to get intelligence. Like in our area, like on our lane. It was ground intelligence. They used to get him to catch some guy. That day was speed.
Takashi
everywhere. Charlie, from music industry to presidents.
Takashi didn't buy
Even for law enforcement.
Law enforcement.
Okay, so that's just it.
Yes.
Let's, we have to create some room for them to operate until we resource them with the sophistication that
they need for this.
That comfort for all of us in terms of human rights.
But we also do not want them to abuse their power. Because like there's a very thin line in exerting authority and abusing power. And it was very clear that one of the policemen started feeling like, why are you questioning my authority? And they like that. Like, Master, you are serving. I think they don't like, another thing. I don't think the police service in anywhere, they understand service. It's service to the country. It is taxpayers' money. So a taxpayer has every right to ask questions. And when we're asking questions, it's not because we want to be woke and want to be disrespectful. I want to understand.
So you are the I know my rights. The
Ghanaian term of using it.
So training is important too. In Ghana, for me, this is the last point I'll make on this. Training is essential. Training on patriotism. Training on what your mandate is about. As she said, you are serving. Your service is to the people of Ghana. And once that's ingrained in you, it affects how you basically carry out your mandate or the powers that are given to you, to know that this is for the greater good.
Yeah.
That's what you are paid for. Yeah. If you are not happy with your pay and all of that, well, newsflash, none of us are happy with that. We are all managing. But you see, we are all striving that it gets better for all of us.
Yeah.
But we all need to play our roles and play it well. And that's, today is the police, the next day it's another department or
agency.
Industry. It's another one. And that's how together, we can build this country.
I agree.
But once that's missing, then we are not really making
Okay. Before we end it, I see that producer is asking us to end it. Did you know that in Ghana, people sue the police force for wrongful arrests, wrongful detainment, and they get paid by the court?
Yeah, the judiciary is there.
Yeah.
Ghana's judiciary is one of the strongest. But of course, no. See, when I talk, when you measure something, it has to be against a threshold. And the threshold can be very low.
Okay.
But I'm measuring them against Nigeria's judiciary. Togolese judiciary.
Okay.
Yes. So on that basis.
So yes, people.
Very high. And yes, I can see how
if you've ever felt that the police have done something that you feel you need redress, the court is always there. I think there's another thing about the Ghanaian and not trying the law and going the full war. We don't like. Ghana, everything is Fama Nyamio. When someone has even done something that is going against you, like in the health sector, legal, the police, like harassing, because let's say this lady was a businesswoman who was going to meet a client. That business, she probably have lost it. She can actually sue because of that in discomfort. For if there was no reasonable cause, and then they did that, and then they stopped her from making that money, her lawyer can fight for that money for her because you made her lose that money. And it goes to court, and she probably will win, she probably will lose. And we're always afraid of cost. You can actually let the police pay for the cost of your legal fees as part of the things you are fighting for. So, yes, like, we have the laws. We like doing famanyame too much. And we like victim blaming. Let's let people ask the questions. You are comfortable with police searching you. I'm not comfortable. Don't shut me down for expressing my opinions.
Right. So, countrymen and citizens, you heard, if you should always know that you are serving, your service is to the nation and is not to self. And also, if you have to, citizens, if you have to question authority, question the status quo, just do that. Don't be scared, because this is how we all build the nation as one people. So I hope you enjoyed this segment of Sauce and Pepper. Don't forget to leave your comments. Let us know.
Subscribe
to our YouTube channel, and let's build a community.
Build a community.